Hey guys, it's that Dividend guy coming at you with another dividend increase update. So I wanted to start this series because I've seen so many companies cut their dividends. I've seen a lot of newer investors really getting slammed by real estate investment trusts, specifically going after high yields and getting burned now that we're in a pandemic, and a lot of those REITs are not collecting enough rent to actually pay their dividends. So what I wanted to do was highlight these companies that not only have paid their dividends, because that's significant enough in itself, the fact that these companies are strong enough to maintain what they're already doing in a good economic environment once a downturn hits, but it's more important that we highlight the companies that have actually increased regardless of how much that increase is. It's important that we highlight the fact that they're increasing it, because these are the type of companies that you want in your portfolio. So many companies are going to go cut their dividends, have issues, have like cut profits, stuff like that. So many companies are going to struggle during this time. So when we find companies or we see companies that are increasing their dividends, as dividend investors, we need to take notice of that. We need to appreciate that, and we need to highlight that for other investors so they know what types of companies to be putting in their portfolios, so they don't have to worry as much about the next economic downturn. Now, of course, I'm not going to guarantee that the stocks that I cover are going to increase their dividends. I don't know that. But what I do know is I'm more comfortable holding companies that have increased their dividends for 25 or more years through the last three recessions, including this pandemic, as well as the financial crisis of 2008 and the dot-com bubble. These companies have increased that, and even if they don't have that long consecutive growth rate, the companies that have still announced dividend increases are significant, even if they haven't done it for 25 years, because any investor that's been holding that company has seen a significant increase in their portfolio due to holding that stock for consecutive years. So I think it's very important that here on the channel that we highlight those stocks, and one of them that just announced an increase on the 15th of September was Store Capital. So they are a REIT. They're well diversified. They're backed by Warren Buffett. And the funny thing is, I actually looked into them and had them on my watch list for a very long time, but I chose SKT, Tangier Factory Outlets, instead because of the status that they had. They completely cut their dividend. They're not even paying a dividend anymore. And Store just did a press release talking about how bullish they are on their economic prospects and how happy they are to increase their dividends. So I did the wrong pick, and I will happily admit that. Still made money on SKT, still got more out of it than I put in, so that's wonderful. But I definitely should have picked Store Capital. So Store Capital was paying a dividend of $1.40, but they upped it to $1.44 per share, so that is a 2.9% increase from the prior rate. The dividend was paid, or excuse me, will be paid on October 15th of 2020 to Store Capital stockholders of record as of the close of business of September 30th, 2020. So as you guys can see here on NASDAQ, it wasn't a crazy big increase. It was 35 cents to 36 cents. But I do want to bring your attention to the fact that there's this old story about Warren Buffett in an elevator with a bunch of other investors, and there's a penny on the floor. And he goes and he grabs the penny because nobody thought he was going to pay attention to it, right? It's a joke. Like, Warren Buffett's worth millions and millions of dollars. Why would he care about a penny? So he picks up the penny, and all the other investors are like, what the heck? Because, of course, it's such a minuscule amount of money to somebody that's that good at wealth generation and that wealthy. Picks up the penny and says, this compounded will make the next billion. And that's so significant in this scenario because Store Capital only increased it by a penny. But Warren Buffett understands it's not about the amount of money that you have, right? It's not about the amount of money you put into the market. It's about how well that money grows over time. A penny compounded makes more in a month than $1 million makes you just sitting there. So it's about realizing the power of compounding and using it to your advantage. And the thing is, I've done the math on how much he's making now with this measly penny increase, and the man's right. So he has 24.4 million shares of Store Capital. With that, he's now making $240,000 more a quarter. Warren Buffett is, with a penny increase, which is $500,000 added to Berkshire Hathaway every year that he holds the stock. But here's the thing, that's $500,000 added this year alone with this one increase. That's why it's so significant, because by next year, if they do just a penny again, even if it doesn't, the economic uncertainty is there and they do a penny again, he's made $1 million in 2 years because he invested his capital in an asset that grew. Even though it's not a crazy big rate, like 3% isn't insane, but the amount of capital that he has to deploy and how well he can strategically pick his investments makes him build more wealth. So guys, keep that in mind. It's not always about the amount of money you have in your portfolio. It's about putting money in places that are going to make you more money substantially over time. And again, even though it's a penny increase, it still has a substantial effect on how much money he's making due to how much he can put in. So for people with smaller portfolios, don't get discouraged. Just do your due diligence and find investments that are going to make you more wealthy over the next 5, 10, 20 years. That's what it's about. It's about putting the money you can afford into companies that are going to pay you more year over year. So, anyways, guys, I want to wrap the video up. I don't want to make it too long, but just keep in mind it's really important that even the smallest increase can help build your wealth, and it's important to highlight these companies because they're building their dividends, they're growing their dividends and paying us more, even through this very hard economic time. So I want to say congratulations to Store Capital investors. Sadly, I'm not one of them yet, but I will be very soon. I'm going to make my real estate portion of the portfolio, I want it to be about 25% of the portfolio. So I will be building that up. So congratulations to shareholders, and guys, just keep on the lookout. These type of companies that are increasing their dividends should be ones that you're researching, and this is a really good way to rebalance your portfolio. And what I mean by that is take a look at what you own in your portfolio. If they've cut their dividends, they're probably not as good of a company as you thought, and it's probably better to just cut your losses and put it into something that's growing in this economic time, because it's easier to sleep at night knowing that your dividends have grown through 3 recessions versus getting cut at the drop of a hat the second a pandemic hits. So take this uncertainty as a lesson and learn from it. Go back through your portfolio, as I have done as well, and reevaluate your positions, and even on your watch list, reevaluate what you're wanting to put into your portfolio, because that's very important as well. You want the healthy, quality companies that are going to pay you handsomely over the long term. And like I said in the video, guys, even something as small as a penny is significant when you hold it and compound it over time. So thank you guys so much for watching. Congratulations to the shareholders that of the companies that I've covered so far. I will do my best to keep up to date on companies that are increasing their dividends, because I want to put positivity in the market, and I want to highlight the companies that are growing their dividends, because that's what we're doing here on this channel. We want dividend growth. So thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to make the like button blue. Remember to hit the subscribe button on my channel, That Dividend Guy. And when you do, hit the bell notification so you don't miss any uploads. I do Robinhood portfolio updates every single day. I just started a new series on the channel for dividend increases, and I've made about 5 videos for that. I do Tesla videos, Warren Buffett videos, stock IPOs if I find the IPO interesting enough. So I have a lot of content coming out, and if you guys like dividends, stock investing, and stock market news, this is definitely the channel for you. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next dividend increase video. Take care, guys.